Simon, your thoughts on tonight's match? An honour, I imagine, to play in.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was great. The fans asked me not long ago and said, "Will I come down and play?" It was a game. I made my debut in against Brighton a long time back in the Zenith Data Cup, so I agreed to pop down, and it's been a good night. It's been an entertaining game of football. I think it was a bit unlucky in the end to lose 1-0. I think we had plenty of chances, but the main cause is the charity, and hopefully it's raised enough money tonight. And like I said, the supporters of both clubs have took it in the right spirit, and it's been a good game. Indeed,
it's great that Palace and Brighton fans can put their differences aside for such a great cause.
I'm not sure they put them aside. I think they just tampered them down a little bit. But no, that's right. It's a great cause. We've come down here, and like I said, they've been a good turnout. It's been a good game of football for everybody, and like I said, it was unfortunate we didn't quite get the result that we wanted.
Did you enjoy it out there?
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, I love playing, and any games I can play, I try and play as many as I can. So yeah, it's always nice to play, and a few of the fans there have hopefully enjoyed playing with me, so I'm not so sure.
Would you be happy playing it every year, next year?
Well, just like I said, it's timings, isn't it, and dates and whatever else, and it's fortunate this weekend that I'm free to be able to play, so yeah, if I'm about, I'll play.
Looking at the Palace first team at the moment, in the playoffs, it's been a fantastic season, hasn't it, really?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen them a couple of times this season, Ipswich at home, obviously Wolves at home, and they were playing some real fantastic stuff, and they obviously got themselves top at one point, and they've had a great season so far. And I just think that they're in there now, and everyone else. This is the time really when you need to sort of keep your form, keep your composure, and hopefully stay in the playoffs. Ian Holloway's been there and done it. He knows all about the playoffs and obviously going up through that. So I'm sure he'll be setting his goal to stay in the playoffs and go from there.
I bet you'd love to play in a team, wouldn't you, at the moment, with all that attacking flair?
Yeah, that's right. It's great for fans to watch. You've got wide players that want to get at people and attack things, and it's positive football. You know that he's set it up that way. You've got a goal scorer that's got 30+ goals this season, which is great for any side. And like I said, they've had a little dip in form just recently, but I'm sure that he'll get them back, and they'll be doing everything they can to keep going and not let the season peter out, and let it be an even better season than it has been so far.
Can Palace still go up despite the stuttering form?
Yeah, of course they can. If they can stay in the playoffs, it becomes almost a lottery in some respects. It's 2 games and then it's the playoffs. So you've got 3 more games, and if you can really hit form at the right time, and get on, a little bit of a run from now to the end of the season and go into the playoffs with a little bit of form, a little bit of confidence, anybody can go up. And Palace are going to be one of those that, are strong. They're a strong team. They've got attacking flair. If you can get through and get to Wembley, those boys will relish the opportunity to play on that pitch and hopefully, like you say, continue on and get promoted this season.
There's a potential playoff final game with Brighton or even Dougie's Bolton Wanderers. That would be some game, wouldn't it? Either.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it'd be, Brighton Palace at Wembley would be a dream for Brighton and Palace fans, I'm sure. But Dougie's had a fantastic run since he's gone. I mean, a lot of people thought it was a strange decision for him to leave Palace at the time he did. He'd done some great groundwork there, and I think the team and Ian Holloway have actually, praised him for that, and the club himself. And he's moved on to pastures new. Started off a little bit slowly at Bolton, but he's got them going. And like I said, if you sneak up in the playoffs there, I don't have good memories of Bolton in the playoff finals with Reading, so they're not a team that you want to be playing, particularly if they're in that kind of form. But like I said, it's going to be interesting last few weeks of the season, and hopefully, like I said, they can stay in there and see what goes from there.
What do you think of Ian Holloway?
I played with Ian at Queen's Park Rangers, and he's an enthusiastic football guy who knows what he wants. He'll certainly be working to play as hard as he can, and he will not give up for 1 minute of trying to push Palace into the playoffs. He's a good manager, man manager, and a manager himself. And like I said, as a player, he was fantastic. He helped me out no end when I first got to QPR as a younger lad in the Premiership. And like I said, Palace have got a good man there. And like I said, he's come in at a difficult time with Dougie going and everything else. And I'm hoping that he can keep pushing them on and stay in the playoffs, because he deserves that. You
said there, coming at a difficult moment in the season. Do you think he needs a full season to make his mark?
I'm sure he would like that, but I'm sure he'll also be gutted in the position he is at the moment if he can't keep them in the playoffs. After doing so much hard work, the players themselves as well have worked so hard throughout the season. It's not the time where you want to just drop out of those playoffs. So I'm sure they'll keep battling and keep fighting like we know Palace do, and hopefully he can guide them into them playoffs.
What do you think the reaction will be if Palace don't go up this season, especially after staying in, say, the top 5 places for the majority?
They'll be disappointed. I'm sure they would be after, like I said, 2/3 of the season gone. The position they was in, I'm sure they'd be disappointed with the last sort of 5 or 6 games there is. But I'm sure if it doesn't quite happen, the squad will be stronger, and I'm sure they'll be better prepared come next year, possibly strengthening a couple of areas which I'm sure fans are looking at and thinking, we possibly need another centre forward in there just in case, just for something to change. Obviously Kevin Phillips is there, he's a fantastic striker and a great career, but I'm sure Palace fans will be looking at maybe, without Glenn Murray's goals, where they're going to come from at times. So there's certainly be areas that they want to strengthen.
Are there any players in particular that you think you'd like to see come in for, to Palace, especially with Wilfred going to Manchester United?
No, like I said, it's just a difficult time. You know, you've got to try and go out there, and Palace are obviously a club that have changed the philosophy behind the club. The chairman and the people that have come in have stabilised it, and it's a business, and it's run on even keel now, which is a fantastic thing, because it's been a long time sort of coming in with that, you know, administration and bits and pieces always hanging over the club for a few years. So they've settled that down, and I'm sure they'll be out there. The scouts will be out there looking for players that fit in to the Palace way, and they've got to buy into the football club as well. And I'm sure that they're out there, and they will find those players. You know, you want young, hungry players that want to play, that want to impress and work hard, and they'll be out there and they'll find them.
Do you expect a lot of money to be spent in the summer from Wilfred's sale?
I wouldn't expect that, no, to be honest. So like I said, they've nurtured him, they've brought him through. It's part of the business model that they've got, to bring young players through, to get them into the first team at an early age, which they are doing. And then obviously they've got to be there when the money comes in, and it's the right money. Unfortunately, they have to be sold, which is part and parcel of being a championship club, I suppose, at that level. So it's disappointing for the fans for someone to go like that, but it's also massive praise for what they're doing behind the scenes at the youth level and whatever else. And like I said, Johnny Williams now is coming through, so they've got another one on the sort of production line, which is fantastic for Palace and local football.
What do you make of Johnny Williams? Obviously, he plays in a similar position that you sort of played, didn't you, in the middle? What would you make of Johnny?
He looks like a really good player. I mean, he's been a little bit unfortunate with a couple of injuries, but since he's come back in, he's played really well, and a lot of people obviously are looking at him and talking about him. So I'm sure with a decent pre-season, he'll be certainly someone next year that you'll be looking at to take that mantle on and push Palace on again.